Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through some tips that I learned while attending the F1 Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas. Just a disclaimer that my husband and I had 3-day tickets, so depending on your ticket type, some of these tips might not be as useful. Also, just a heads up, these tips are not in any particular order, so I hope you enjoy. My first tip is to bring an empty container for water. There's water stations set up in multiple areas throughout the track. We found that these stations were much less busy earlier in the weekend, and we personally collected about 5 water bottles in our shoestring to fill up on race day. That saved us from running back and forth to the water stations and waiting in the crowded lines. The next tip is to bring sunscreen and an umbrella. The sun is scorching hot and there's hardly any shade at the track. You're going to want to lather up that sunscreen as much as possible, as well as using the umbrella in between sessions to make some shade and cool yourself down. When it comes to souvenirs, if you see anything you like, I recommend that you purchase it sooner rather than later. This is going to allow you to wear any new gear throughout the whole weekend and also avoid some crowds in those areas on race day. If you get to the track early, there are multiple things to do to keep you busy and having fun. There is a racing simulator and a pit stop challenge, as well as a few places to take pictures and check out some really cool cars. We were even able to find where the drivers were driving into the paddock and got a few waves and pictures, which was awesome. Just know if you choose to do this, you might miss some of the drivers when they get on stage to do their interviews throughout the weekend. We opted to pay about $300 extra for assigned seats at the Ed Sheeran concert after day 2 was over. Honestly, we were super exhausted from the day's events. Even though Ed was super cool to see and the whole place was super packed, after the concert we felt like the crowds got a little bit overwhelming. If we were to go back, I definitely think we would skip the concerts and go downtown Austin and hang out on 6th Street. There are a lot of cool bars and there's live music everywhere. It just depends on what kind of vibe you're looking for, but Austin is a college town and it definitely shows into the evening hours. We had seats at turn 15, section 18, and row 31. Our seats were awesome because they were pretty much right when you walked into the track. They had cup holders and backrests, unlike some of the other seats that were just bleachers. We were a little worried about being able to follow the entire race since we were only able to see a short section, but there was big screens and people around us with radio headsets letting us know if anything major was happening, like any crashes or any other racing incidents. Still speaking about the shuttle, on Sunday after the race is over, don't try to rush out. We would have been better off if we would have enjoyed the after-race DJ. Also, there's half-off concessions as they were trying to get rid of any leftover inventory. A good portion of the evening was wasted in queues for the bus and it was super disorganized. I highly suggest waiting it out and embracing it for what it is, as long as you don't have a flight to catch. If you'd like a good spot on the track while the podium celebrations are taking place, you're gonna wanna leave your seat towards the end of the race and queue up at one of the openings on the outside of the track. This was a madhouse after the race. We still did make it onto the track to watch the champagne, which was well worth the craziness, but I think if you were on the wrong side of the track, it would be nearly impossible to get a good spot to see anything. Hopefully you enjoyed my video. If you have any other tips or questions, please let me know in the comments below.